Hi, I'm Tanya, and today we're going to start on the floor. Just go ahead and bring your feet into a butterfly stretch with knees open to the side. You can put your hands behind you. You want to lift your torso up tall, and we're going to start by pressing the knees down to the floor, opening up the hips, coming into some external rotation of the thigh bone in the hip joint. Keep pressing down to the floor. And then bring them together, relax, and again out. Press down to the floor. Keep yourself lifted up tall. Use all of those postural muscles to lift up tall. And down to the floor, and bring it in for a rest. And one more time, down to the floor. Pressing, growing tall. Okay, now you're going to open the legs out so that we can bring the leg into internal rotation now. So we're opening up that hip joint, bring it down. You want to keep your hips square, so don't let your hip roll. You're going to keep both sits bones on the floor and really try to pull that leg down to the floor, pulling that inner thigh and inside of the knee down. And open up. And now the other side, pull. Good, stay tall and lifted. And release. Again, back to the other leg. Pulling down to the floor, feeling that up here in the groin as we pull into internal rotation. You might be feeling some tension here on the knee as the lower leg is coming into external rotation. The knee joint is going into external rotation as the hip joint is coming into internal rotation. Just make sure that you don't ever push yourself to a point of pain. And pulling down to the floor with the other leg. Pull. Good. Okay, so now let's come into our 90-90 sit. And bring one leg in front. Going to have that leg lined up with your hip bone. And then a 90-degree angle here. The trail leg is going to come straight out from the side with a 90-degree bend in the back knee. Kind of adjust yourself so that you are on your leg and that you don't have your seat kind of to the side and under you, but you want to be sitting up tall on your sit bone. Okay, we're going to pull forward into a stretch. You can have your hands for support. Think of reaching your chest forward and keeping your spine flat. And then bring it up. And now if you can, hands will be out to the side. You're going to pull yourself forward as much as you can. This is going to be a lot of work in the glute and the external rotators because they are working to stop you from falling straight forward into the floor. So they're getting a lot of eccentric work. And go ahead and press it up. And one more time. So they are working to decelerate you. And press it up. Good. Now we're going to try to pull our thigh up to our chest. So we're going to work these internal hip flexors here in the groin. Pull that up. Our adductors on the inside and down. Try to keep yourself lifted tall. Pull up. And down. And one more time. Stay lifted and tall. Really try to get the knee close to the body. Try to keep the leg in that 90-degree bend and lower down. Now we're going to press the back leg down into the floor. So you're going to drive your knee and ankle down into the floor like you're trying to pull, if you were standing up, trying to pull your leg to center. Okay, go ahead and press. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to try to lift that up. If you need to lean over to the side a little bit, just make sure you keep the ribs lifted. Don't let yourself sink into the floor. We're going to try to lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really feeling that burn here on the outside of the hip. And again, press into the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeezing there. Now we're going to use the outside of the hip and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. Press into the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lifting. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, now we're going to lift just the foot and ankle so that we bring the thigh into internal rotation. Lift that up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. If you need to be leaning over to be able to get the foot off the floor, that's fine. You work with where you're at. Again, lifting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. And one more time. Lifting up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep pulling. 5, 6, 7. Feeling that burn. 8, 9, and 10. All right, we're going to come to the other side. Going to start with that glute of the front hip. We're going to come forward, nice long stretch. Spine is long. You can use your fingers for support this time. Hold it. Try to pull your sits bones back behind you as you reach your chest forward over your leg. Feel the stretch in that front hip grow even deeper, and then bring it up. And now if you can, kind of take the arms out, bring it forward. Holding. 3, 2, 1. Press your leg in the floor to bring it up. And again, bring it forward. Think stretching long, long spine. Don't round over. Reaching the chest and the crown of the head forward. 2 and 1, and bring it up. Okay, now we're going to lift the knee and thigh up to the chest. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, and 1, and lower with control. 2 more times. Try to stay as tall as you can. Remember, it's okay to lean over if you need to. Bring it up. 10, 9, 8, 7. Squeezing that regressive tissue. 3, 2, 1, and down. Last time. Stay tall. Squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now we're going to press the back knee and ankle down into the floor using your inner thigh. Press down. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to use the outer hip. Lift up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and press down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, pressing 2, 1, and lifting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Last time. Pressing, squeeze into the floor. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Our last time. Lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now we're going to lift just the ankle and foot, bringing that back leg into internal rotation. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Remember, you can regress over to the side if you need to, and lower down. And again, lift. 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more time. I'm going to grab a drink of water. You're lifting. 10, 9, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. Good. Okay. We are going to turn over onto our backs now and do some shoulder bridges. If you have a block or a pillow or something that you can put between your knees while we do shoulder bridges, that's great. If you don't have one, it's fine. You don't need to use one. Okay, lying down on the floor. We're really going to get into the glutes and hamstrings with shoulder bridges now. Remember, with shoulder bridges, lifting our hips into hip extension is the job of the glutes and the hamstrings, not of the spine. So you want to make sure that you do not arch your back. So we're going to sink our ribs down, tuck the tailbone, and keep that rib sinking into the body, tuck of the tailbone happening as we press our feet into the floor, activate our hamstrings, squeeze our glutes, and that's what lifts our hips up. No arching of the back though. Keep the ribs down. Hug your block if you have it. Keep your knees pulling forward over your toes and actively press your feet down into the floor. Now round the back, roll the spine down one vertebra at a time. We're going to come up again, sink the ribs, tuck the tailbone, press up. Feel the hamstrings, feel the glutes activating. Press the feet into the floor, pull your knees forward, squeeze the glutes. The hips are open without arching the spine. And down. 3 more times like this. Sink the ribs, tuck the tailbone, pull the knees forward, squeeze your block, press your feet down into the floor, holding, and lower down. 2 more times, up. Squeeze the block, squeeze your glutes, pull the knees forward, feel your hips reaching away from your ribs, feet are pressing into the floor, and down. And last time, up. Feel that you are nice and long, stretching the torso, hips are pulling away, your torso is anchored, and roll it down. If you were using a block, go ahead and take that out. We're going to go single leg now. So just bring one leg back towards your chest. That's really going to help keep the pelvis in that posterior tilt, which will help keep you from arching your back. Press up with the one leg, hold, and lower down. Curl up, use just the glute and hamstrings of that one base leg. Keep the other leg pulled back towards you, roll the spine down. Just one more time like this, and up. And then roll the spine down, and we're going to switch legs. Pull that one back towards your chest, bringing the pelvis into that posterior tilt. Press your foot into the floor, squeeze your glute, activate your muscles. Don't just make the work of the exercise be how you contract, but actually consciously contract your glutes and hamstrings. And again, press, squeeze, feel like you're trying to activate every muscle fiber that you have in your hamstrings and glutes, and roll it down. And again, last time, press and hold, activate, make them work, and roll it down. And now we're going to stretch that out. So I'm going to have you bring your leg across and you're going to cradle it in your arm so that you're going to try to pull your ankle towards your chest and shoulder while your knee is moving away from you. The closer that you can get your ankle into your chest, the more stretch you're getting here through the glute and hamstring, and then you're going to rock it across your body. The glute muscles are like a fan, and so we want to roll that so that we stretch the entire fan of the glute muscle. And take it back to the other side. And again, keep hugging it in towards your chest and roll it across your body. And bring it back. And now we're going to go into stretching the hamstring. So take the leg straight up and just give that a pull back. You can flex your foot, go ahead. I'm going to try to keep my knees straight for this first part. So my leg is straight, so I'm getting as much stretch all the way through the hamstring, connecting into the calf, even into the bottom of my foot. And then I can take a little bend in the knee, and it brings more focus to just the hamstring. We sort of let go of the calf in this part of the stretch. Try to pull your knee towards your armpit. And then if you can, straighten the leg one more time. And bring that down. And we're going to go to the other side. Cradle your foot in your arm. Try to pull it in towards your body and then roll it across. And bring it back. And your hip can roll off the floor. Roll it across. Getting into the fan of the glute there. And bring it back. And then straighten the leg. Pull that back towards you. I'm trying to keep my other leg straight, flat on the floor, so that I'm actually getting some hip flexor stretch on my extended leg that's on the floor, while I'm getting hamstring stretch on my leg that's coming up to the ceiling. Okay, straight leg stretch first. And now give it a little bend. Try to pull the knee back towards the shoulder, feeling the stretch really isolate now in the hamstrings. And then go into a straight leg stretch again, connecting the hamstrings and the calves. Flex the foot if you can, and bring that down. Hug both knees in. Okay, we're going to come up, and we're going to come into a lunge position. I'm going to be on a little bit of a diagonal for you to see. Bring one foot forward, so we're in a lunge, and we're going to lift the back leg, stretch, and bring it back down. Lift the back knee, stretch, try to push your heel towards the floor, and bring it back down. And again, 3, and down, 4, and down, one more time, 5, now hold it there, and we're going to straighten the front knee. I want you to try to keep your hips square, try not to open out, and bend and come forward, and 2, and forward, 3, and forward, 4, and forward, slip it a little bit, and 5, and forward. Okay, now you're going to bend the knee. I like to come so that I'm a little bit forward, so that I'm more sort of on the top of my thigh, down by my knee on this leg, and then reach around, give myself a quad and hip flexor stretch. So you can see I'm not right on top of my knee. I'm forward in that stretch so that I'm more on my thigh. Okay, switching legs. I'm going to start with the back leg. Tuck the toes under and just straighten the knee and down. Getting into that hip flexor. Press back and down. I'm staying deep in my lunge. 3, 4, and 5. Stay there. Now push with the front leg and forward. Keep that back leg straight. 2. Try to keep your hips squared. 3. You can see I'm kind of rolling on my back foot. 4. I come from my toes, and then I go back closer to a flat foot. 5. Okay, and now reach around. Stretch the quad and the hip flexor of the back leg. And bring that down. Okay, we're going to come to a straddle. walk it forward, stretching, keeping the back long, chest reaching forward. A little bit more of a passive stretch since we have our hands resting on the floor. I like to try to keep my sits bones back behind me. Okay, now bring it up. And now hands are going to go behind the head and we're going to try to come forward. You go as long as you can. And then press and bring it back up. 2 more like that. Keep the spine long, the neck long. And bring it back up. 1 more time. And up. Good. Now if you have a block, go ahead and grab it. If you don't have a block, that's fine. You can do the exercise without. We're going to bring the arms up overhead and we're going to rotate and then come down to the leg that we rotated away from. Come down on the outside and bring it up. Rotate to face the leg and up, and then rotate into the leg and come down inside the leg and bring it up. Same thing to center. Rotate and come forward. Come straight down the center. And then rotate and come down. And now the other leg. Rotate into the leg. Come down on the inside of the leg. Face the leg. Come down flat, forward. And then rotate in towards the center and bring it down. Good. Okay, you can put your block down. Hands go behind the head and we're going to go side to side. Over, see if you can get your elbow to the floor. Make sure you stay tall through the spine. One more time. And now come to center, bring the legs together, flex your feet, and we're just going to take a forward fold. Think about folding here at the hips rather than rounding your back over. You're going to think long. Belly button comes long up the thighs. Stretch forward. Try to keep your feet flexed so that you're getting the stretch all the way from the bottoms of the feet, up the calves, up the hamstrings, up the glutes. And then you're folding at the hips. And then again, reach forward and bring yourselves up. And I hope you enjoyed our hip workout today. Have a great day. Thank you.